and Indians all alike. I would want to go across to you, Professor Lochan. I want to begin by asking you, what happens when something of this magnitude takes place in Uttar Pradesh, in Ayodhya, in Ram Mandir? Does it go on to tell a lot more about how nonchalant was the government by not looking into the working of the trust, or perhaps not seeing the fine print of the audits, because this almost happened under their nose?
Not looking at the functioning of the trust, not looking at the fine print. These have been serious weaknesses of the Modi government. The Modi government has been able to get away with it simply because people do not demand high quality governance in India. This kind of mismanagement which says that even when suspicion comes up, we are not going to investigate anything. This allows for a large amount of wrongdoing to happen. In the present case, all the appointees have been approved by the RSS, and somehow the RSS has figured out that the people whom it had trusted, these people have turned out to be cheats and incompetent people. Now, this governance issue is something which remains at the core of the Modi government, and it's not just in the Ram Mandir, but also in the central government, in the union government, where small things keep on going wrong all the time, with things which should not have gone wrong. The NTA crisis that happened, the NEET crisis that happened, they all fall in line in one single space. The reason why we come to know about this Ram Mandir problem is because someone within the Ram Mandir snitched. Had that person not snitched, and had that person not snitched so publicly, we would have remained unaware of whatever is going on in the Ram Mandir. Now, this kind of a problem only happens when basic systems of governance have not been followed, when basic systems of governance have been short-circuited not once but repeatedly. Because every time in a government which is well governed, in a system which is well governed, hints always keep on coming up that there's going to be a problem. And if people who are in charge of the system, they continuously, routinely avoid taking into account these micro details, then a big problem is bound to happen, and this is what seems to have happened. If two people are removed from this trust, it's not going to mean that the system has become robust enough. What it would mean is that they are trying to do some kind of firefighting, ensure that the blame does not fall onto the government. However, I would say that the blame very definitely falls on the government, not on the UP government, but on the central government, because this particular trust was operating considerably under the governance system that has been set up by the central government.
मैं यहाँ पर हूँ महाराज जी, कौन सुनिए 3 दिन यहाँ पर हूँ, आपके सबके साथ मिलकर के मैं सारी बात करूँगा, बिल्कुल होगी।
क्या निर्णय लिया जाएगा जो आरोप लगा
अभी बोलूंगा क्या?
महाराज जी कौन शामिल होगा, कौन महाराज जी कौन
Govind Giri, who has arrived there for that particular meeting. But Mr. Rajiv Lochan, I was asking you that question that Mr. Anil Kumar Verma had raised, that it doesn't appear to be a case of 1 or 2 people involved who are now being pinpointed and blamed for. It looks like there was a syndicate at play. It looks like it was an organized group that was trying to siphon off the money. What do you have to say about that?
See, that is the suspicion which everyone seems to have. But I can assure you there would be no syndicate involved anywhere. These would be random single individuals who are working together off and on. The problem here in the Ayodhya case is not that a handful of people were being corrupt. The problem is that within the union government, there has been a major problem of governance. People are not looking at the micro details. People are not listening to the small word, and there's no effort at double checking whether things which were supposed to be done have been done or not. Because please remember, such large temples and such large management of temples have existed in India for a very long time. The Tirupati temple manages much more than what Ayodhya temple does, and they have been able to resolve their problems much better in a more constructive fashion than the Ayodhya temple has done. Kashi Vishwanath has been able to run very well, and all of it is because their formal structures are strong. In the Ayodhya case, the trust was given total authority, and the trust demonstrated that it is simply incompetent. The trust demonstrated that it has absolutely zero interest in actual processes of
Question
governance.
whether the trust at all should be put in place in these places of worship, or should the government take over the audits entirely under their domain?
I would say that the trust should be there. You see, the trust should be there. The government